everyone. So tonight I have a Reiki ASMR video for you that's going to be a reset or a reboot for 2021. I recently did a video about clearing out the energy of 2020. I will link that somewhere below. I'm going to do a little bit of clearing with sage before we begin the session, but this video is really about a reset or a reboot, really talking about our mindset as we approach the new year. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to the new year. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is it's not going to be midnight on New Year's Eve and then all of a sudden there's this huge change in the world. A lot of the things that we've been experiencing this year are going to carry over into 2021. So I think that New Year's might be a really good way to kind of like reset what our mindset is moving forward, of how to deal with things maybe in a new way or from a different perspective. So that's kind of the goal of this video. So I'm just going to start with some sage to clear out any of the negative energies. So there's been a lot of them this year, and even if you're the most positive person in the world, it has been a struggle to not get caught up in the things that were taken away from us, in restrictions, in things that were blocked. You know, everybody was affected, some of course more than others. Some people are by nature just more positive people than others, but wherever you fit in, everybody was in their feelings at some point this year. So we just want to clear that energy out. So just imagine this not only clearing you, but also your space and your mindset as well. Clearing out all of those emotions. So instead of focusing on the frustrations of what was blocked or what was lost in 2020, try to think of 3 positive things that happened this year. They could be really small things. It can be things that happened in January and February before everything went completely insane. It could be the tiniest little thing, but try to think of 3 positive things that came into your life, or even if it was just moments, 3 moments during the year that made you feel good. And I want you to focus on them, hold those thoughts, and just allow yourself to be thankful. You want to hold space for the gratitude of those 3 things. If you have more than 3, that's great. Think about things that happened this year, even the smallest things that you're grateful for, and just sit with that for a moment. I'll even share the 3 that I'm thinking of right now. One of them is that I started this YouTube channel, and through that I have subscribers that have said the nicest things to me and told me that I'm helping them. And I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to start this channel in 2020. There's somebody that I hadn't spoken to for many years that reached out to me this year because of COVID, and now we're in contact with one another, and kind of like picking up where we left off so many years ago. So I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And there was also a creative project that I was able to do in February that I enjoyed. So I'm grateful that I got to do that before everything went completely bonkers. And there are definitely more things that happened this year that I'm thankful for, but those are the first 3 that kind of came into my mind. Before I light the candle and we start setting intentions, I did want to mention that a few weeks ago I saw a video here on YouTube that I wanted to tell all of you guys about. There's just something about it that really hit home to me, and I think it was uploaded towards the beginning of December. And when I watched it, I said, I have to remember to watch this right before New Year's, so I just wanted to tell you about it. The video is by Weather Shaman ASMR. I've been watching her for a really long time. I'm sure you guys must know her. If you know my channel, you have to know her. If not, definitely go check her out. And the video is called Riverside Chat. Are you going through a spiritual awakening? And there are just certain things that she says in that video that I thought would be very appropriate to listen to as you're doing your reset and your reboot for 2021. So I'll definitely link her channel, and I'll put a link to the video below. I think that you guys will really enjoy it. She's amazing. I love her channel. So we're actually going to light 2 candles for this video. The first one I just found tonight, and I thought it was very appropriate. It's a courage candle, and it says, let me harness my fears in a positive way to create strength in difficult situations. Give me a warrior's confidence to do what is right, not what is easy. And I thought that was really appropriate for our reset in our reboot for the new year. We spent so much of 2020 living in fear. And even though during the course of the year we did gain strength and courage to deal with day-to-day life, I don't know if we ever really set the intention for ourselves to have courage in the days and months ahead. So I thought that this was very appropriate to do for New Year's, to set the intention that we're asking for courage now. We're taking our strength back. We're kind of like owning who we are and moving forward with courage. Just ripping off the top of that. I don't want a fire. So I'm going to place this right by you. So the name of this incense is Open Roads, and I just thought that that was very appropriate also for our session tonight. So think about what it is that you want to bring in. Usually for New Year's, we're talking about very specific goals. People tend to get very motivated. And quite honestly, like a lot of the times, New Year's resolutions and things like that, you can set yourself up for disaster and disappointment. You can put a lot of pressure on yourself. I suggest that this year we take it easy and we make like small, simple, attainable goals or very simple expectations. So some examples of things that you might want to focus on for 2021, some goals and expectations you might have. Maybe there's a project or a hobby that you started in 2020 that you really enjoy and you want to continue that as you move forward. Maybe it's something that you never had time for, that you were always interested in and you had the time to do it this year. Maybe you want to continue along with that project or that hobby. We all had a chance to spend more time with our families this year. Maybe that's something that you, even as things get back to normal, you still want to make that time with your family. A goal could be to practice gratitude every day. Maybe start a gratitude journal, even if you're writing down 1 or 2 things a day or a few things a week, just to take that time to check in with yourself. Make sure that you're showing gratitude and that you're thankful for your blessings and the things that you do have, as opposed to focusing on the things that you don't have access to at the moment. Another one might be to keep exercising your creativity. Everybody had to get very creative this year with the way that we went about things, the way that we had to get things done. And even like people that don't consider themselves to be creative types had to really get creative this year. And maybe that's like a talent that you didn't know that you had. Maybe it's something that you really enjoyed. And perhaps that's something that you want to focus on as we move into 2021. So simple, attainable goals, whatever they are for you, just focus on them now. So open roads might be, different goals. It's like, it looked like a sparkler. What is happening? What is going on? So usually after New Year's, everybody goes warp speed ahead with their intentions and their resolutions. And this year is going to be different. You want to give yourself permission to go slow, that it's okay to take things at a slower pace. It's okay to have smaller goals, smaller expectations, and to not just like run a marathon into the new year. You take things one step at a time. And even though people say that they accept that or they're used to that now, even though they don't like it, you have to really tell yourself that you're okay with that. That's okay. Give yourself permission to go slow. And this is just the process, and we want to accept that. Instead of trying to work against it and, complain about it, it's actually easier to just accept it. And just know it's okay to take things slow, and it's okay, more than okay, to take time for you, to practice your self-love, to practice your self-care, and to take time for you. That should be one of everybody's goals. So we did our courage candle, but I also wanted to do a little intention candle as well. And the intention that we're setting here is to really live in the moment. Anything from the past can't be changed. If we think about that, we become depressed. The future is unknown, and thinking about that constantly is just going to put you in a state of anxiety. So our focus for 2021 is to just stay in the moment, one moment at a time, 1 hour at a time, one day at a time, and it's much easier. That's the way we should always be living. It's easier said than done, but that's really the intention that we want to put into this candle as we light it. So stay in the moment. It's the only thing in our life that's actually real. Whatever is right before you is what's happening. It's the only thing that you have some control of. and to focus on enjoying the little moments, like what I was talking about before, of the things that we were grateful for. Enjoying little moments. It's like that old saying, life is what happens when you're making other plans. You don't want to miss out on life as it's happening right before you because you're stuck looking at your phone, making plans for, next week, this, that, and the other thing has to go on. Or, you're thinking about something from the past. You want to be in the present moment because we're still living life. Even though it feels like things are being put on hold, we're still living. So years ago, I went to a store in Chinatown in New York City, and they had a big chair that you sat in, and they had these enormous crystals that when you sat in the chair, the crystals were on the floor, but they were big enough where your hands could rest on the top of them, and they were 2 crystal points. And I remember asking the lady about it, and she said that the clear quartz crystal brought all of the positive energy into your body, and the smoky quartz crystal took all of the negative energy out of your body. And I love that idea. I loved sitting in the chair. I thought it felt really good. So on a small scale, through the years, I picked up, first I got the clear quartz point, and then sometime later I got a similar smoky quartz point, and I always keep them next to me, and sometimes I just sit there and I'm going to place it like on my knees so you can see, but I will sit there with the palms of my hand and just focus on the energy coming in and going out. So I'm right-handed, and I would put the clear quartz point in my left hand because that's my receptive hand, and then my projective hand would be my right hand because I'm a righty. So if you're a lefty, you would flip it, but you can actually do this exercise with me. Just imagine, and then I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can also do this at home whenever you want. So you would just sit there and you would breathe in, and you would feel all of the lightness coming in through the palm of your hand and going throughout your body. And then on the exhale, you would picture like dark energy running down through your hand into the darker crystal. This is a little setup that I have based on that store that I went to. But you can also do this with smaller crystals as well, and just hold them in the palm of your hand. Again, it's clear quartz and a smoky quartz, and you can do the same exact thing with the small stones. If you don't have crystals or stones, you can even go outside like under the moonlight and just hold up your receptive hand to the moon and put your projective hand on the ground, like in the earth, and do the same exact thing. Or you can just sit in your bed and visualize that happening. You can absolutely do that if you want to. So with me, we're just going to do the exercise together. Close your eyes. I'll put my crystals in my hand because that helps me. And you're going to breathe in the light energy, thinking about the new year. And exhale anything that no longer serves you from 2020, and picture it going out of your other hand. Inhaling the light energy. Exhaling the negative, and really picture it leaving from your feet to the top of your head and rushing out of your hand. And one more time, feeling all of the light energy coming up. And picture your whole body, the inside of your body, filled with like glowing white light, and exhaling any dark energy that might be left. So if that's something that you want to practice, either with crystals or just visualizing or under the moonlight, like I said, just remember that the light crystal, if you're a righty, it would go in your left hand. If you're a lefty, it would go in your right hand. And the dark crystal goes in whichever hand it is that you use to write with. Usually every year for New Year's, I take like a little box, something that looks like this. I love little boxes and trinkets like this. And I will fill it with kind of like goals for the year, not even resolutions, but things that I would like to get done during the year, or something that I'd like to try, or a new hobby, things like that. And I thought that it would be a cute idea if I'm gonna fill this just with a couple of little things, and then I'm gonna ask you to virtually pretend that you are writing down one or two things from before, when I was saying like whatever your tiny goals are for the year. Think of a couple of those and then place it. Imagine that you're placing it in this box, and I'm going to put this box someplace special, so all of your wishes or your intentions will be in here and held in here for the year ahead. So I'm going to do two for myself. I'm going to write them down, and as I'm writing, I want you to imagine that you're writing yours down as well. My goals are very small and attainable, but they're things that I look forward to exploring this year. So we're going to open. This is going to be our little 2021 box, and I'm going to place inside the first thing, and the second thing. Now I'm just going to give you guys like a minute to reach in and place your goals in here. Just imagine putting them in the box that you wrote it down, and you're folding up the paper, and then you're coming over and placing it in. Nothing too crazy. Just simple, attainable things that are going to make you happy. Okay, so I have them all in here now. I'm going to close that. And I'm going to find a special place to put that for all of you. It'll be in here until next New Year, so I'm not going to touch that. So I'm just going to use this little bell to clear away any negative talk or thoughts that may be left. We're going to move forward dealing with things in a new light. And like I said earlier, it's not going to strike midnight on January 1st and magically change. But we can enter the new year with a new mindset, knowing that each day is a step closer to getting back to normal. And until then, we're going to choose to live in the moment. So I'm just going to seal everything with a little sage spray for you. So we're going to stay in the moment, and we're going to learn and enjoy whatever we can. Instead of fighting the situation, we're going to choose to go along with it. Make the best of whatever we can. courage to move forward, knowing that every day we get closer and closer to something that feels normal. I just want to remind you to go watch Weather Shaman's video that's linked below. I really think that she has a lot of great videos that are helpful, but I think that one would be a really good one to watch as we go into 2021. I thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for enhancing my 2020. And I look forward to making more videos for you in the coming year. And I wish you and yours a very healthy and safe and peaceful